Paula Rogovin. I live on Linden
You don't
Avenue.
have to give your name.
Okay. I haven't been at a planning board meeting for.
How do you spell your last name?
Paula, Rogovin.
Thank you.
I haven't been at a planning board meeting for a long time, so I'm not exactly sure what your procedure is for good and welfare. But I live over on Linden Avenue near Stop and Shop. And I'm very, very concerned about what happened to our municipal parking lots. The parking lot across from Stop and Shop was allowed to deteriorate. There was construction debris that was allowed to be dumped there. There was a porta potty put there in our parking lot. It was finally removed when I brought it up at a council meeting. The trees were allowed to die. And finally, when I brought it up at a council meeting, after that, the trees were cut down. And then suddenly we hear, there was no public notice, there was nothing, hear that this was an area in need of redevelopment. It's a perfectly fine area. I've lived here for 40 years. It's perfectly fine. The municipal parking lot is used all the time by the businesses, by the gym, by it's used all the time. But the parking lot was just allowed to be run down and then declared an area in need of redevelopment. That's my parking lot. That's our parking lot. That's your parking lot. And suddenly we hear, without any notice or anything, that it's been given away to developers to build a 5 or 6 story building. The same on the other side of Cedar Lane. That's our land. That's our parking lot. We don't want it to be given away, and we weren't even asked if this works for us. If we want to develop Cedar Lane, you're going to need parking lots. Parking. A for-pay parking lot on the other side of Cedar Lane. Who wants to pay to shop on Cedar Lane? So I'm very concerned about it. I'm also an environmental, I taught for 44 years in New York City, young children. Now I'm almost a full-time environmental activist, and I'm looking at the plans that we see for those buildings and the traffic that would come because of those buildings. I'm worried about the pollution. We already have the trains that are very dangerous. We have the diesel exhaust from those trains. And then we have pollution from the tremendous amount of traffic. And I'll make my last point for tonight, and that is when you give a tax break to the developers, a tax break that's going to last for many years, we have to pay more taxes because there'll be more services needed for all the hundreds of people living in those buildings. And we don't want to have our taxes raised and the developers get a bonus.